Standing right next to a turtle. They usually don't let you get this close. That guy is huge. I can't give you any scale because I know if I get close, he's gonna dip. Yeah, that's amazing. Oh, here he goes. I think he's just hunting, fishing. Yes. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. It is freezing cold out today, like legitimate 32 degrees, maybe a little less. It is good times for that process. Man, it is beautiful out here, though. All right, we're gonna go the other way. I'm about to get company. I'm not trying to record strangers. They may not want to be recorded. I literally had to run back to the house right now because I thought I forgot to unplug my cameras because my cameras will push notifications through while I'm recording because I saw this guy from the distance and I wanted to come get a little clippage. But yeah, it's Sunday. Freaking cold. But yeah, we still out here getting it. Dick's doing his thing, dictating said day. Good to go in every way. But sad news though. The family left this morning. You know, everybody's got their business to take care of, but we got to spend a good long while together. It was good times. Missed that baby already. So cute, so good. I usually start my morning with some type of music. I guess I should do the intro. What up, everybody? Welcome. I know I said that already. But it's going to be a wonderful week that's coming up upon us. I know I spoke about the being to service to someone today, whatever that means to you. And it may take some practice, and that's okay. So, I try to do a little something. I think what I'm going to do today, because I have no rhyme or reason, I'll get back to the music thing in a minute. I'm going to walk out here to this open field, because this has been the area. I saw the bobcat up that way, and there's a coyote that messes around out here. I call it the Capel Coyote, because we're technically in the Capel area. All right, here we go. We're going off-road. Watch me fall in a hole or something. Be good for the video. Yeah, so I usually start the morning with music, and I try to theme it to the day or whatever I'm feeling. And I happen to put on some Lionel Richie, aka the Commodores, because it's Sunday and easy like Sunday morning. Kind of fits if you wanted to. Easy like Sunday morning. Here's the thing though. As soon as that song was done with, Fleetwood Mac Dreams came on. And I don't know what those are both amazing songs. I love that, time, that era of music and energy and people. And I'm a sucker for like 60s and 70s. I don't know why. If I had a time machine, I think I'd go back and be a hippie and then jump into another parallel universe, be a soldier. I don't know, something about that just really interests me, captivates me. But those two songs will always remind me of my father. Why, Mr. Rich? Why is that the case? Because, like in the Fleetwood Mac song, she's kind of talking about, a man who wants his freedom and, Can't chain them down or whatever. I always forget the lyrics unless it's playing, then I'll sing along. I'm one of those. I always get the lyrics wrong unless it's on. And sometimes, even when the song is playing, I'm singing the wrong lyric. Whatever. But the reason it reminds me of my dad is because he had so many women. So many. My father was 59 years old, years young, when he passed. And this is hearsay, allegedly. But in one of the previous videos, I talked about meeting relatives that I didn't know existed. And there's many of those. But during the times that we were able to talk, there was one time while he was in the hospital going through they still don't know what killed the man. I think it was just the lifestyle that he led. He was so hardcore to his body. He was a hardcore partier. One of his ex-wives, the one I'll never forget. I'll tell you a story when I'm done with this why I'll never forget her. It's crazy. We were sitting next to his bed and he was like sleeping. And we were talking. And we were trying to come up with how many women can we, figure out that he was married to. Well, we had a discussion then, and we came up with we think there was 4, maybe 5. And then after his funeral, we all went and ate at a Pappadeaux's restaurant, sat at a huge table. That's where I was staring at everybody. He died in Beaumont, Texas. So we're at Pappadeaux's, and I just kept staring. I was like, I'm so sorry for staring at everybody, but I just never see anybody. This group of people that all share some trait to me. They look like me. Even the girls, crazy. But through the discussion there at the table with his old friends, families, and exes and children that I didn't even know about, the math stands at my father was married 9 times and had 11 children. He died before he was 60. He was 59. So yeah, anytime I hear those songs about, either a man singing about, running through women, or a woman being upset at a man because he's got too many women, it makes me think of my dad. It sounds like I'm trying to paint my dad as a bad dude, but he really wasn't. We all have our things that we, could be better about ourselves. But he told me, because when he got sober, he stopped messing around like that, because I guess one of the things of sobriety is, no relationships except for the one with your higher power, and then you choose that. It's crazy I'm teaching people about AA in this thing. I don't even, whatever. That's for Dad. There you go, Pops. Rest in peace, good guy. Miss you too. Yeah, all the ladies, even the I'm going to say her name because it's going to help us. Her name's Julie. I think that was his last ex-wife. I think. It's the last one I know about. She said, one thing about your father that I will never, never argue is that he knew how to treat a woman. He was good to his women. And my dad told me when I was living with him during my crazy teenage rebellious years, he told me that he loved women. He couldn't stop himself from falling in love with the next one. And sometimes he'd still be married to the first one. I don't know how you get away with that legally sometimes, because there's no way. He had to have been married to 2 women at the same time. Was he using an alias? What was going on? I don't know. Maybe the paperwork wasn't as strong back in the 70s. I don't know how he did it. But yeah, he was real good to his women. Good guy. But we all have our flaws and whatnot. I just wanted to share that. I was thinking about my pops today. Those songs pop on. I think about good old Richard Sr. Um, he was actually, his name was Louis William Richard, and then the last name. I don't know if I should give that out yet. Most of my subscribers already know because they're friends of mine. But just in case, I don't want no stalkers or nothing. Someone trying to get into my email or social security or whatever. Good luck though. We've already locked all that down because that's happened to us already. Freeze your credit. PSA right there. Freeze your credit. I know I'm skipping all over the place, but man, I swear to the gods, when you turn 18 or whatever, when you're, now you're able to start buying stuff on credit, you should have to unfreeze it then. It should be frozen the moment you get a social security number until you're proclaimed an adult, then it should be unfrozen. What are we doing? If it's that important, man. So yeah, it's free to freeze all your credit. Freeze your credit. There's 3 major houses. Freeze them, and then if you want to go finance something, even if your credit's immaculate, especially if your credit's immaculate, freeze that. You go, let's say you finance a car or a house or whatever, you just ask them, what credit house are you going to use, and I'll unfreeze it. And they'll unfreeze it for 24 hours, and then you can tell them, hey, Experian, TransUnion, Equifax, freeze it right back after this 24-hour. And you can call and check. It's a worthy step to take in your credit future, if you will. Yeah, so now I feel like, because it's sitting right on the tip top of my dome, I feel like I should give you the story of the last ex-wife of my father. Her name was Julie. It's pretty colorful. So, man, I'm gonna have to give a little bit of backstory. Damn, I'm trying to sum this up. I don't want it to be too long. Okay. My parents divorced. In the beginning, I would go see my father every other weekend. And that meant sometimes my mom would literally kick me out the car, our 1963 Volkswagen Bug or something like that. That's the car we wrecked in, and I got the scar on my face. She'd kick me out of the car, and I'd go right into the airport by myself. This was before all the crazy, stuff was going on in our world with I don't even know what word I can say, being careful on planes because of what happened back in that September, that one year. But they would literally give me this little chain around my neck, and it would have my itinerary on me with little alligator clips. And if a stewardess or a pilot saw me, their job was to go, let me see where you're going. Okay, come with me. And they would take me. It was so cool. I'd always get little pilot wings, that little pretend you're the captain of the ship, and they'd come and show you the cockpit, all that awesomeness. That does not happen anymore. It was an excellent, excellent process, though, however. So, every other weekend I go see my dad. And that went on for a while. But my father was involved in some illegal activities, which is a whole nother thing. I'll get there. And so when I got older, he was less likely to bring me around, kind of thing. But the last time that I went and spent like the holidays with him, because it was like every other weekend at holidays, and my mother didn't celebrate the holidays, so I was so excited to go to my dad's for like a Christmas or any of that, because he celebrated. He had the tree, he had cable, Cinemax at nighttime. What's good, son? And I was like, I think it was 12 going on 13. By the way, when I was 13 years old, I was super short. I weighed 180 pounds. Wish I had some pictures of that. It doesn't even look, it's weird. I was a chubby little sucker. And then I went through puberty, and I'll tell you that one later. But yeah, so I'm visiting him for Christmas. I am super stoked. And he has married Julie, who I'd seen pictures of. He was very braggadocious of her, because my father was probably, he was probably my age, soon to be 50. I'm assuming. I'm sure I could figure this out if I got a pen and paper. And she was 23 or 24. And she was beautiful, very fit, blonde, piercing blue eyes, and the complete opposite of my mother. The complete opposite. If there was a yin and a yang, this was it. From everything from hair color to personality to everything. She was super cool, and my father had already explained to her all the craziness that I deal with at home with the religious cultiness and whatnot. So she did things like would let me try a cigarette, or whatever, crazy. But the thing that I will never forget is, now remember, I'm 12 going on 13. I'm already checking out Skinamax, so that has already, those chemicals in my brain are already, things are tingling, and I don't know why I kind of do, you know what I mean? Circle of life, birds and bees, whatnot. So every morning that I'm there for this week of Christmas, she wakes me up naked. I mean, naked. Talk about, I don't never want to go home. I love this place, Dad. So cool. But yeah, so I kind of had a crush on my stepmom, for sure. I mean, plus she was cool. She didn't care if I cussed, giving me cigarettes. My father, there was something in here. I think it's just a squirrel. My father was an addict, alcoholic, but he always partook of the ganja as well. I'm a big fan. I think it's got crazy medicinal things, and if you treat it right, it will serve you correctly. But cannabis, whatever you want to call it, hemp, I don't use its slave name that they gave it. Marijuana, it's not even, that's a totally different plant. It's related, do your research, it's related to a tobacco plant that grows in South America, whatever. That's not the same plant. Cannabis is different. For as long as I can remember, my father kept an old Pizza Hut tray that you would deliver, I don't know where he got it from, he probably stole it, underneath his couch. And it always have a little roller, you know, to assist in rolling the jizzies, the joints, and then some flour, usually already ground up. I'm sure it was not of the high caliber that we have today because it didn't look that way. Always underneath the couch. And they never were like, don't mess with this. It was just whatever. And to be honest, when I was a kid, I just thought it was another form of cigarettes. I thought it was, maybe they're rolling their own. I don't know. But yeah. One morning I got up and I thought I would be helpful. And my father, for many, many years, smoked Camel cigarettes. And then every other week or so, he would switch and buy a pack of Cool Filter Kings menthols. You know, yin and yang in it. I don't know why, it's just what he liked. He said it felt like it was doing something good for him, like a mentholatum cough drop. Whatever, crazy. So yeah, I woke up that morning and I was like, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna help them. So I took apart a bunch of cigarettes and mixed it in with their flour, and I thought that's what you were supposed to do. Well, Julie gets up that morning, they're rolling around, and then she's like making breakfast or something, and she sits down, pulls that tray out. She's just in her underwear, by the way. So I was like, oh my God. And she starts puzzle-faced looking at the tray, and she's like, what is this? What is this? And everybody called me Little Richard because my father was Big Richard. She's like, Little Richard, did you do this? And I was like, yeah, I was just adding more to your stuff. It looked like you were about to run out. And that day, that cool ass lady in her underwear explained to me, this ain't the same. This is this is that. This does this does that. You know, and I'm like, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't know. She's like, it's fine. And then later on that day, my dad proceeds to put me in the car, go run an errand or something, and he's like, we got to go pick up an ounce for Julie because you messed up her stuff. I was like, oh, okay. And then the whole thing, everything started to unfold on how that kind of works. Just wanted to share that. That was crazy. But one more thing about this Julie chick. She stood up for me more than my father did at any given time against my mother. As far as I know, my father was never combative. He would argue, but he didn't put a lot of energy in it. He was always even keel as far as his energy. He would raise his voice rarely. He would get angry, but it wasn't an outward show of rah. So he never really argued with my mom. That never happened. He was just cool, copacetic. Anytime there was a conversation, whatever my mom, this was after they were divorced and dealing with, the shared custody of little Richard and me. But Julie didn't play that game. Ooh, man. Because my mom knew probably they were celebrating Christmas over there. And I had already shared with Julie because they got me some of the dopest Christmas gifts. And I had had many Christmases with my father where when I got home and my mom would see the extra bags of Christmas gifts, we're talking brand new toys. We're talking He-Man's castle, the whole castle that opened up and had the trap door and He-Man's cat, multiple characters and everything. My mom would not let it come in the house. She would not allow it to cross the threshold of the door. She would be like, little Richard, you need to take those to the trash. So in tears and anger and all kinds of emotions, I would have to take all those Christmas gifts to the alleyway and put them in the dumpster. Bro, heartbreaking. And it didn't matter what it was. If it was a Christmas gift, it was gone. So now Julie knew this because my dad had shared the stories. I shared the stories about all the toys that I had lost, forced to throw away. So I'm talking to my mom on one of these days because she would call and check on me. And I think Julie was either going to hang up the phone or maybe she answered the phone first and then was going to hand it to me on one of these days. And she got into a full-blown argument with my mom and called her a bitch. And you know what I mean? Woo! I've never seen anything like this before. And, my mom's pretty big. She's a big, sturdy, aggressive at times. But, she, as the kids say, she stands on business. She wouldn't be pushed around. She would argue. You know what I mean? She wasn't timid at all. And I was Julie. And I mean, she lit her up on the phone like, you're so stupid and you're horrible to this child. You're torturing him. This is ridiculous. And she hung up on my mom. So my mom had to call back to talk to me. I got the phone. And my mom's like, that's a horrible woman. I can't believe it. Whatever. But man, from that day on, Julie would, as far as people go in my hierarchy of things, for standing up to my mom and telling her all the shit she needed to be told. Yeah, thank you, Julie. Thank you. Super cool. Man, she's got to be 65 or something now. Wow. Yeah. Close to 60, something like that. Yeah, but if you're still kicking around, Julie, I appreciate that. Thank you for that. But yeah, every Christmas, I had to throw my toys away because we wouldn't celebrate at the house. I'm not saying I'm still traumatized from that or anything, but man, that was difficult. Never getting to participate in any of those pagan holidays. I get it, they're pagan, but at the same time, All right, I'm probably way past time on this. And this wasn't the most productive of videos, but I just wanted to share a story. I wanted to check it off, get out here, get it done. It's Sunday. I'm going to go continue my service. Got all the chores around the house. I'm going to run the store, replenish all the things, get ready for the week. This week is going to be amazing because because we are going to make it so. Each and every day, we get the opportunity to dictate our emotion to what happens, the actions of things happening, all that wonderful stuff. We get another chance to try. Another chance. I'm thankful for that. And sometimes I forget. Like, oh, it's cold outside. Man, I'm alive. I am healthy-ish, you know. So yeah, let's get in there this week. Let's get in there. Let's conquer. Let's dictate our day. Dick's gonna dictate his for sure. You're right. But with that being said, y'all, I'm out. I love you. I'll see you tomorrow. Go ahead, post another one. It'll probably be, who knows? I was gonna say it might be a little more focused. Probably not. But whatever. Love you guys. Day takers. Mount up. Take the day. Love you.